the course sports management. This is module 7, which implies that this is the 7th video that we'll be making for this course. So we only have 3 more videos to go before we round up this class. And the topic that we'll be treating in this module is becoming a professional athlete and footballer. So in this module, we are literally be introducing and enlightening ourselves on the necessary paths to take and the process, the step-by-step guide to take in order to become a professional athlete or a footballer. So I really implore you guys to follow it strictly, because this topic is very important in sports management, especially for those that want to pursue their career in any form of our sports activities, be it as an athlete or a footballer or what have you. So it is very essential that you listen to this part. I wish you best of luck. Now let's move on to the contents of the module. For this module, we'll be looking at these subtopics under the topic for this module. One, we have professional athletes and footballer, which implies that we'll be introducing ourselves to who a professional athlete and footballer is. We'll try to justify that and define that. So after that, we'll move on to the next subtopic, which is how to be an athlete. How can we become an athlete? The physical, mental, and lifestyle preparation. These are the main things that we'll be focusing on: the physical, mental, and lifestyle preparation that is needed in becoming an athlete. So after that, we'll also move on to how to be a footballer. And under this, we'll be mainly looking at the technical skills, positional training, and trials in becoming footballer. These are the necessary steps in becoming footballer. We will address this and also advise the amateur and upcoming footballers on the necessary path to take and what they should do and not do. So then after that, we'll look at the nutrition, fitness regimens, and injury prevention as a footballer. So how do you take care of yourself, your fitness, and in order to prevent injury? When we are talking about injury, is one of the bad thing that could happen to any professional footballer that can easily jeopardize or spoil the career of a player or an athlete as a whole. So where we also we'll take it one after the other by looking at the fitness regimens first, then injury prevention. Then after that, we'll move on to the next subtopic, which is building personal brand and media relations. In this 21st century that we have, sportsmanship is not just about playing on the pitch or performing on the field no, it is just there is life after the pitch or after field. So this is what we are trying to address in this topic: how to build personal brand and media relations online, majorly because we are in the 21st century era where most people are online on the social media platform. How can we engage? How can we speak directly or indirectly as a professional footballer or athlete online? Then after that, we'll move on to the last subtopic, which is contract negotiations and long-term career sustainability. Where we'll be tipping ourselves in how to negotiate for contracts, who can negotiate contracts for a professional footballer, and even how to renegotiate, how to know your value as a footballer, know your worth as a footballer, and probably to discuss your salary pay and all those kind of things. This is what this subtopic is all about, and how to build your career for long-term long-term sustainability. How you can be sustainable for a long time while playing as a footballer or while being an athlete as well. So now let's move on to the introduction to this course, to this module. Sorry. We have that the dream of becoming a professional footballer, it captivates millions of young talents worldwide, which is undoubtedly. So now, especially in football passionate regions like Nigeria, where the sport is more than a game, however, it is a pathway to global recognition, financial security, and national pride. So from street games in Lagos neighborhoods, and the whole of Nigeria as a whole, to the bright lights of packed stadiums, the journey transforms from raw passion into real life performance. So what we are trying to establish in this introduction is that to become a professional footballer it has become millions of dream. It has become a dream for millions of young people in the country, because it is not just about playing the football alone. It is just the youths have seen it as a way to escape poverty and a way to be exposed, and also to be to to be financially secured. So people the youth turn out to invest mostly in this activity. So we have the likes of people that have breakthrough from this. A good example of this is Victor Osimhen from the streets of Lagos. He has been there hustling and grinding for a very long time, and also taking part and also training as a footballer, whereby he got lucky and was promoted to play to represent Nigeria at the um, under 17 World Cup, African Cup of Nations first then. So where he gradually became he came to limelight and was signed by different clubs over the world. So he's one of the best example for this youths, young talents that are trying to strive and that are striving to become a professional footballer in the future that we are talking about here. So now we should important to know that becoming a professional footballer is not just about playing football alone, but it demands extraordinary talents, but even more so an unrelenting commitment to physical excellence, technical mastery, mental resilience, and disciplined lifestyle choices. So we have the icons like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi. They actually exemplify this part in the sense that their legendary careers were mainly built not just on natural gifts. All right, they have the gifts and the talents, all right, but then it is not just about the talents alone. They are But yeah, it is not just about the talent, but on daily sacrifices, rigorous training, smart recovery, and an unbreakable mindset that turns setbacks into fuel for greater success. Just like we all know, a good example of that is Cristiano Ronaldo. I believe people are trying to monitor to study his mentality. His of high mentality. Now let's move on to who is a professional athlete and footballer. We are trying to justify and define that. When we are talking about athletes, a professional athlete is an individual who actually competes in sports at a high level, primarily for compensation, earning a living through salaries, bonuses, endorsements, or prize money, rather than purely for personal enjoyment or amateur status. That's where a professional athlete is an individual who is a professional. Sorry about that. An individual who is known to be professional and operating and playing at a high level, which is and they are mainly primarily playing for compensation, for salaries, to earn living, and through different endorsement bonuses and the likes, and also to entertain the fans. In the context of football now, a professional footballer is a player who has signed a contract with a club in a recognized professional league such as the Premier League, La Liga. The Premier League is that of the England. La Liga is for Spain. Serie A is the top league in Italy. League One is the top league in France. Or the Nigerian Professional Football League, that's the NPFL, is the top league in Nigeria. And they are playing for a recognized professional league and club in this league, and also receive payment for competing at that level. So now becoming a professional athlete, particularly a footballer, is one of the most demanding and rewarding paths anyone can pursue. What we are trying to establish also here is that to become a professional footballer, we are trying to address that to discuss that a professional footballer is an individual that is playing at an high level in a recognized professional football club, and at also a recognized professional league, the top league. Like when we are talking about the top league, we have the top five and we have the top seven leagues, but mainly the top five leagues is mostly recognized. Where we have the England Premier League, La Liga, the Spanish La Liga, the Italian Serie A, the French Ligue 1, and the German Bundesliga. That's the German league. So which are the top five leagues playing in one of these leagues? Not only that, we can also have the Divis League of Netherlands, which is one of the Portuguese league. That's the top seven leagues playing in one of these leagues. Not only that, any professional league, and any in a recognized professional football club, and any money from it receive payment for competing at that high level. So now let's move on to how to be an athlete, the physical, mental, and lifestyle preparation that is needed to become an athlete. So in becoming an athlete, it starts with building a strong foundation beyond just playing football. It has to do, to become an athlete. It's not just about engaging in sports alone. Your lifestyle, your career, your way of life revolves around your performance and all. It's not just about coming to field and playing or doing your sports, being a sportsman. It's not just about being engaging in sports alone. It revolves around everything about your lifestyle. So which we are going to address here: your physical, mental, and the lifestyle preparation. So now let's look at physical preparation first. We have elite athletes. They train consistently to develop strength. This is when they come around to develop. You will be, as to become a professional athlete, you have to be dedicated in training, physical training, so that you can actually gain strength and develop strength. So develop strength, speed, agility, endurance, and power to engage at the top level. This includes going to gym work, sprint drills, and sport specific conditioning. So many professionals, they train 5 to 6 days a week, mixing high intensity sessions with recovery. At that level, the training is more demanding and more rigorous. So it requires you, as if you want to become a professional, you train yourself from the start to, so that when you meet yourself at that level, you won't fall apart. So now let's move on to the mental preparation. How do we prepare ourselves as a professional, as an aspirant for professional athletes mentally? So this mental side of the preparation is often separates good players from great ones. So it is important that we know that we have almost every players are there that are good, but not every players are great ones. So now we can compare the players like Dembaba to that of Cristiano Ronaldo. Dembaba is a good player, but he's not as great as Cristiano Ronaldo or Lionel Messi. So this just, it has to do with the mental preparation. So mental toughness involves resilience under pressure, focus during high stakes moments, and bouncing back from setback. A good example for this is Cristiano Ronaldo. When you're talking about mentally, he is mentally straight, and he has the mental strength to succeed under any kind of pressures. We have seen this in different occasions and different tournaments where the opponent teams, they try to boo him, they bully him and all of that, so that he can underperform, but yet he might end up in such match ending switching them by scoring hat-tricks or three goals, 2 goals as much as possible. The good example of this is while Ronaldo was at Juventus and Atletico Madrid. Yes, that's a good example where Atletico Madrid has beaten Juventus 2-0 at their home. When they came back to the Juventus Stadium, Ronaldo ended up scoring 3 goals at that match. Before, initially, the Atletico fans had bullied him and shoot him down and chanting Lionel Messi to oppress him, to show that Lionel Messi is better than him. But he shoots them up by coming back with 3 goals in Juventus. This has to do with mental preparation. This is what meant when we are mentally prepared. That's this kind of result that will come and will definitely differentiate you as a good player as a great player from good players. Now let's move to the techniques. The techniques to achieve this, it includes the following: positive self-talk and visualization, arousal control, building self-confidence through reflection on past successes. These are the different techniques that we can apply. Then we have the lifestyle preparation. How do we prepare your lifestyle in order to become a professional athlete? The discipline of the field is non-negotiable. You have to be disciplined off the field. On and off the field, you have to be disciplined. This means consistent sleep, about 8 to 10 hours. Stress, you manage your stress, avoiding distraction. That is, which could be example of this is excessive partying. When you go to party too much, it will definitely distract you and might also jeopardize the career of such player. And also surround yourself with supportive people, mostly your family. Lifestyle habits like time management, ensure training and recovery aren't compromised as well. So then let's move on to the next subtopic, which is how to be a footballer. The technical skills, positioning, training, and trials that is necessary. So football specific development is mainly focuses on mastery of the ball and game intelligence. It has to do with game intelligence. So becoming a professional footballer is an intense, highly competitive pursuit that blends exceptional technical mastery, deep tactical understanding, relentless physical conditioning, and mental fortitude to thrive in high pressure environments. So now let's take it. It starts with developing core football specific skills. These specific skills include the following. Let's start with the technical skills. Technical skills. These has to do with the core skills, which include dribbling, passing, short or long, which could be short or long pass, shooting, first touch, ball control, and heading. If you know your position very well, you will know the necessary things that you defend as a defender, as an attacker, or a forward. You should be able to dribble very well. So these are the technical skills that is necessary for you depending on your position. As a midfielder who is known to be the connector, you must be able to throw necessary pass and read the game, short pass or long passes, and shoot long shooting as well. So daily practice is essential. Top players touch the ball thousands of times per session. You start young and progress to advanced drills like windows of 1v1 scenarios, just like we have that Mr. Easy is doing now, the 1v1 challenge, where we have seen a lot of players in Nigeria have jumped on the challenge in order to showcase their talent. You jump on every possible opportunity that you see to showcase your talents. You don't know where who can help and where help can come from as someone that is aspiring to become a professional footballer. Now let's move on to the next skill, which is positional training. This has to do with understanding your role. Defenders need tackling and positioning. Midfielders on the other hand, they require vision and stamina and shooting, even short passes as well. The forwards, they focus on finishing, dribbling and movement of the ball. You train positionally. For instance, the fullback, that is 2 and 3 that plays on the field. The 2 and 3, they are known as the fullbacks. They work on crossing and overlapping runs. They are the ones that is very close to the touchline, the 2 touchlines of the field for the team. That's the 2 and 3. They are very close to the touchlines, and they are known to mostly train on crossing and overlapping runs, because they have to overlap. They run to and fro from their post down to the opponent's post, come to the end of the match. So that is where they focus mostly on. They don't actually it's not necessary for them to focus on dribbling. Although they can know how to dribble, it will be additional quality, but this is just the basic thing that they should be able to do. Now the trials are your gateway to academics or pro clubs. Yes, they are your key. Attend open trials. You showcase days or get scouted through competitive leagues. And how to prepare for trials is, how do you prepare? You prepare by one, you highlight, to use short videos of your best plays. You highlight it for people that are scouting, so that they can actually see your performance and post it if necessary. Performing consistently in matches. When you are actually consistent in your performance, so you can in that way or the other, you are preparing for your trials. And networking with coaches. This is different way that you can prepare for trials. Now, steps to go to pro often include the following. You start training early, join a competitive club or academy, then you get scouted. After being scouted, you progress through your youth ranks and impress in trials or reserve games. For instance, many pros like those from the FC Barcelona's La Masia or Ajax academies, they rose through structured youth system, emphasizing technical mastery and tactical awareness. Let's move on to fitness regimens now. What do we mean by fitness regimens? It refers to a structured, systematic plan or routine of physical exercises, training activities, and often complementary elements like recovery strategies designed to improve or maintain overall physical health, strength, endurance, performance, and well-being. So it goes beyond random workouts by following consistent rules, schedules, and progressions. It actually goes beyond that. So it is more highly, and sometimes it's high intensity intervals or sport specific drills. For athletes, for instance, now especially footballers, a fitness regimen is periodized. For instance, we have off-season building. Off-season is for building, and in-season is for maintenance. When the season has ended, the fitness that the footballers engage themselves in is just to build their strength for the coming season. And in season, the fitness training is kind of gets reduced compared to during off season. It's only left to maintain the strength that is being gained, so it's for maintenance. So a fitness regimen is periodized to peak at the right times while allowing adequate rest and adaptation, ensuring long-term sustainability rather than short-term stamina. No. So it involves combining aerobic, anaerobic, that's strength training and flexibility. So now, how do we prevent injury as a professional player or an athlete or even an amateur? Because injury is just like a Waterloo to footballers and athletes' career. Now, the common injuries that we have are ankle sprains, knee injury, which is known as ACL, hamstring injury, groin. So the strategies in which we can prevent injury, it include the following. One, you engage in FIFA 11 plus warm-up program. There is actually a program that was organized by FIFA that players engage in order to prevent injury. You engage in that. That's the FIFA 11 plus warm-up program. Then the second one is strength exercises. You engage in, make sure you exercise very well. That will actually prevent and sustain you. Then after that, you move on. We have proper gear. That is the proper gear, gearing up properly. wearing of shin guards, good technique and recovery, use sleep and active rest. These are necessary ways that we can actually prevent injury. And the next one is to avoid overuse by monitoring load. So here are some visual of key injury prevention exercises commonly used by pros, as we can see on this on our screen. So these are different exercises that we can engage in order to prevent injury. Now let's move on to the building personal brand and media relations. In this era, in this 21st century era, a strong personal brand, it opens door to sponsorship, fan support, and career longevity. Sorry. The steps include the following. You actually define your identity through them by showing your values, your story, your style, your unique style. It could be hardworking, it could be underdog or flair player. It depends on yourself. You detect yourself that your identity out. When you detect your identity, then you move on to the next thing, which is consistent social media presence, not negatively but positively, and with posting of with training clips behind the scenes at the camp or at the stadium among your fellow groups, and authentic content. A good example of this is Alex Iwobi vlog during the African Cup of Nations in the 2026 era, where he usually record his teammates and post it on his YouTube channel so that people would actually know how bond they are on the field, off this field and in the camp, how bond they are, to show the level of their teamwork and commitments and all. This example of a good example of this. We have another example is Marcus Rashford brand too, where he actually engage in welfare and children welfare. Yeah. So now let's move on to the next one, which is you craft a narrative. You share your journey, challenges, and what you have overcome and the life, just like the Alex will be the example that I have given. And also you engage positively with fans and media. A good example of a footballer that actually used to do this is Victor Boniface. He usually engage positively with fans on the social media platforms and actually relate with people, do some kind of giveaways to engage the young ones, encourage the upcoming players to. This is a way of building personal brand and media relations. And also you network with agents, brands, and teammates. Examples are that we also have here is players like Marcus Rashford. He builds brands around charity and personality, leading to major deals for him. Now the next one that we'll be looking at is transition from amateur to professional. How can we transit from becoming an amateur player to a professional? The job to do that, it involves the following. You actually have to sign your first professional contract, which often come through via academy promotion or transfer, whether you are bought from another club or through academy from that same club. That's how the signing usually come. And the second one is adapting to full-time demands. So this full-time demands has to do with daily training, travel, media, and all. And the third one is handling increased pressure and competition. The more you transit, the more it is just like a process. You can't compare let's put it this way. Life as a 5-year-old, 10-year-old boy is very, very different to life as a 25, 26, 27, 30-year-old man and guy. So this is just what it means. The pressure that can be handled when you are just 5 to 10 years, you can't compare it to the pressure that you'll be facing when you are above 20 going to 30 or 30 years of age. So the ability is just like transitioning. That's like amateur to professional level, handling increased pressure and competition, ability to handle it. And the next one is maintaining humility while improving. So many players, they face setbacks, that is, which could be loans or reliefs, but persevere through resilience. Now let's move on to the next subtopic, which is the contract negotiation and long-term career sustainability. This is an important part in becoming a professional footballer. You have to be able to negotiate your contract and all, and which is very essential. And if it is done wrongly, it can actually spoil the career, damage the career of such a player. In doing this, most players, they hire a reputable agent, or some use their family, one of their trusted family member as their agent. We have the likes of Lionel Messi, using his father, and Rabiot. Yes, Rabiot at Juventus currently. His mother is his agent. So just ensure you hire a reputable agent. A common agent, another good agent that we mostly used by most players is George Mendes. George Mendes is the agent for Cristiano Ronaldo, for Mourinho, for most players out there. So you hire a reputable agent. After that, try to know your market value, and in doing this, you can compare similar players. This compare players that you know that you are of the same quality or even more better than, and you look at the structure that such player use in negotiating. How much did they sign the player? How much did they sign in for the contract? How much is it going to, such player is going to be earning? Then you can use that to actually judge yourself and know your worth. Highlight your achievements, the contribution and future potential that you have. Negotiate times like salary, bonuses, release clauses if necessary, image rights, and duration. Your timing matters. You can also renegotiate after strong season. If you feel like, okay, you've gained your momentum and you have become more popular and all, you can actually renegotiate for. And if the club wants you, we have the likes of Bukayo Saka that just renegotiated his contract with Arsenal and signed one of the most expensive contract in the club, and any one of the most earning players in the club. Initially started with 30,000 euro, but now he's just recently signed 300,000 euro per week. That is to show you how you can actually time yourself and know when to renegotiate. Now, long-term career sustainability. Now, you plan beyond playing. After playing, what comes? Life after playing, what comes? You invest earnings, education on business ventures, mental to extend career, and build network for post-retirement endorsements. Like it could be in form of coaching, media endorsements, and all. A good example of this is Henry, former player of Arsenal and Barcelona, and Jamie Carragher, the former player of Liverpool, currently working as a football analyst for Sky Sports. Yes, for Sky Sports. And we have many pundits out there. Mikel Obi just recently started his own pundits, where they analyze football and criticize some players and encourage some players when they need to, when necessary. The mental health and physical maintenance plus financial literacy, it definitely ensures a sustainable career. Now, in conclusion, the path to becoming a professional athlete and footballer is a very rigorous yet profoundly rewarding odyssey that tests every facet of your being: physical prowess, mental fortitude, technical brilliance, nutritional discipline, and strategic life choices. Now, from the dusty pitches of Lagos to the grand arenas of the Europe, success stories like that, those of Victor Osimhen, who rose from humbling beginnings through sheer grit, or global icons like Cristiano Ronaldo and Lionel Messi, should be able to remind us that extraordinary talent alone is never enough. Now, it is never enough. It is the daily commitment to improvement, not just that, resilience in the face of rejection, smart injury prevention, and also building a powerful personal brand that ultimately separates dreamers from professionals, and that ultimately also separates good players from great players. Thank you. That will be